My name is Michael Bodine, and this is my sister Echo.
Hello.
And we are professional psychics, and we've been doing readings for about the last 25 years. And we've noticed in the last maybe 5 to 10 years that there's a big increase in interest in psychic phenomena.
We've also noticed that there's a lot of misconceptions, or I guess I'd have to say negative beliefs out there about psychics.
Right.
And we're hoping by creating this new show that we can dispel some of that negativity and bring you what psychics really are about and what psychic phenomenon is about. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about ghosts right now. And I had the opportunity last night to go to a home and check out a ghost that was not very nice.
Cool. Do you have any video on that?
Yes, we do.
Hi.
When I first walked into Kelly's place, I could feel a heavy energy coming from her bedroom. She showed me pictures a friend had taken of lights in her living room. But the most dramatic picture was this one, a man's face in her bedroom.
See the eyes, nose, head, his body, he's kneeling on my bed.
Oh, I can. There. Holy smokes. Kelly told me she felt like ghosts had been in her home for quite some time, but lately the disturbances had come more often and were starting to scare her.
It's like every day there's something pounding on the walls. It sounds like somebody's outside with a hammer banging on something. Go out to investigate, see what it is, there's no noise.
I could feel a heavy presence in the back bedroom. He was a voyeur and had a very sexual energy. There's something real bad in that back room. Real bad, real bad. I was drawn right to the closet, and so was Kelly's cat. Yeah, he's standing right there, isn't he? Kelly hadn't told me, but she had told my producer that the closet always gave her the creeps.
Almost feeling suffocated when you walked into my room. I wouldn't go into my closet. Almost the whole time we lived here. Not even to put our clothes in there. I would not open those doors for anything.
The man I saw in the closet told me he'd been dead for 4 years, was a biker, and had lived in the area. He's not nice at all. He loves to mess with people's heads.
Ask him if he pushed me.
Oh, okay. First of all, right away when you said that, he started to laugh. He said, "I've done it all." He watches people in the bathroom. He watches people in here. It's like there's a very perverse energy about him. The words he says are, "I like the chick." Okay? All right, now. I like the chick. All right. Oh, he says, "I like her hair. I like her attitude." Okay, now I'm getting the name George. The ghost told me the names of the 3 other male ghosts in the closet as well. James. James is your friend. James is one of the guys you have come over here. Okay. Kevin. All right. And there's a Frank. Okay. Again, Kelly hadn't mentioned any names to me, but she told our producer about a dream she'd had. Someone was walking through her home. In her dream, she questioned the ghost.
I said, "Who are you and what do you want?" And he said, "My name's Kevin."
The ghost I was talking to looked just like the bearded man in the picture. He dressed like a biker, wore all black, and had a bad attitude. But as a Ghostbuster, it was my job to get him and his ghost friends to go to the other side. We want you to leave here because you're not welcome here. He told me he'd been sticking around because he liked the chick and was afraid to move on to the other side. I finally convinced him that he wasn't welcome here. I also assured him there were friends and Harleys in heaven. That's when he finally seemed ready to go. I'm going to call in an angel. And I'm going to ask her to take you and your friends over to the other side. The biker ghost and his friends finally left for the other side. It had taken more than an hour to convince them to go. But as soon as they left, the energy was lighter, and Kelly was obviously relieved.
My bedroom feels a lot lighter. It feels like it's a lot easier to breathe in here.
So now, since she's left, how is it?
You know, it's amazing how much different it is. It's easier to breathe. It's easier to, it's, because before everything almost had a haze to it. And after everyone was out of the closet and everything was gone, it was so much easier to breathe, so much easier to see, even to move, because it felt like it was like there was this big weight pushing down on you. You know what I mean? But we were so used to it for living with it for so long.
Someone always asks if ghosts can hurt us. And for years I said, no, they can't hurt us. You know, their hands just go right through us. But we did a ghost busting several years ago in a warehouse out in Eden Prairie. And we could actually hear the ghost up on top of the building walking around. We could hear his footsteps. Michael went up this really high ladder, like way up by the ceiling. And I was just standing there looking at him, and all of a sudden something slapped me on the back of my head and said, "Get out of here." Just like that.
She goes, "Michael, what'd you do that for?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You just hit me in the head."
There he goes, "Sis, think about what you just said." When we come back, we're going to talk about psychic abilities.
And do readings. Do you write?
Do I write?
Yes.
I used to write comedy.
Well, can you go back to writing?
Can I?
Yeah.
Nobody could read my handwriting. I have multiple sclerosis, and I shake a lot.
Is there some way that you can write somewhere?
Well, I could write on the computer. Why?
Because it seems like you're supposed to do some writing.
Really?
Oh, I would definitely say you're supposed to do writing.
Wow. That is interesting.
Ah, boy, you don't swim at all, do you? Nope. Good, that's good. Well, here, I gotta have the other one.
Oh, the other one?
You know, I don't do poems.
No?
No, I don't.
We have psychic abilities, which means we have clairvoyance, which is the gift of sight. We get our information in the form of pictures, images, or visions.
It's like opening up a door. I'll concentrate on somebody's name, and all of a sudden I'll get all sorts of information. I don't walk around being psychic. It would drive me nuts. But yeah, for me it's pictures, images, people talking.
Who would like to stand up and ask a psychic question? Anybody willing? Thank you.
What is your first name? Kim, we've never met, right?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Well, I'm a bridesmaid in 4 weddings this year, and the popular question is, you know, where's your boyfriend? And so I'm just wondering if you see a serious relationship anywhere.
Oh, a serious relationship in your life?
Coming.
Coming. That would be a yes.
Very much.
Thank you. Next question.
Maybe we should get a little more.
Yeah. A little more depth. He's got 3 letters in his name. He's got brown hair. He's about 5'9". No, a little taller than that. 5'11", excuse me. And he works with money.
He works with money.
Works with money. Green, dough. I don't want to say he's an accountant, but he's kind of like that. Yeah. You're not going to fall in love with him right away. In fact, you probably won't like him a lot right away, but...
You know what? That's pretty typical. So.
Who else has a question?
I keep feeling like I should, it's time to move, or I guess the word daring, more daring keeps coming to mind, like be on my own somehow. And I'm just curious as to, you know, is this all in my head, or is somebody telling me something here?
Actually, they've been saying you've been in a coma for a while, and they really need to get you to go. I mean, I don't think you could be in a coma deeper than you are now. Not to say that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that for you and your knowledge and who you are and what you know, for you to do what you're doing is pretty stupid.
Do you have a grandpa that's deceased?
Yeah, both of them.
All right, there's one, though, that seems to watch over you almost like you're still a little boy, and he's just continually trying to encourage you to have a fulfilled life. And I guess what I want to say about him is that he didn't have a fulfilled life, or there were dreams that he had that he didn't fulfill, and that's why he's pushing you to not just stay in one place, but he's trying to push you to, come on, be happier, trust yourself more, come on, you've got a good mind. Does anybody else here have a question that you'd like to ask? Yes.
My fiance Angela and I should probably give you her name too, are getting married soon in October, and we've been hunting for a house. We're kind of thinking about that we have to rent maybe too, initially together. We're living separately right now, and we're kind of interested to know if you could give us any information as to whether we'll end up finding a house in closing, or whether we
You will find it. You'll find it. But it's like there's no use in trying for the next couple weeks. Maybe like in August. I guess in August is when you're going to start. It gets serious. But you will have a house. You won't have to rent. Definitely.
Great.
Might even feel for a while like, hello, is anybody paying attention to us? We need some help here. And then, bam! All of a sudden, all kinds of answers come. So
Don't buy in an Indian burial ground though. That would suck.
that would, yeah.
So let's take a look at how Echo's and Michael's readings turned out. Michael predicted Vic and Angela would buy their perfect house in August. Not long after that, they bought this house in August. Echo told Steve, a deceased grandfather, one of his own regrets was pushing Steve along in his career. Afterward, Steve confirmed he had the same feelings and told us his grandfather had abandoned his own family in the woods of northern Minnesota 40 years before. And then there's Kim. Michael said she'd meet Mr. Right at one of the next 2 weddings she was in. It didn't happen at this month's wedding, but maybe next month. Of course, she probably wouldn't like him right away anyway.
When we come back, we will take your questions about anything that you'd like to ask about psychic abilities, intuition, reincarnation, life after death.
And show you some really cool pictures.
It's about someone that I recently just met.
First name?
Blake.
I like Blake for you. Yeah, there's an old love coming back into your life.
How old?
She's about 85. No, I don't know that I trust him. Intimacy issues. You gotta resolve some issues with an old relationship, they say.
I'm thinking in a brand new way.
So who would like to ask a question about anything having to do with this whole field of psychic phenomenon? Yes, sir.
When somebody dies and the soul leaves the body, can you actually see that?
Oh, that was a perfect question. Yes, I wanted to show you these pictures. Policeman gave me these pictures. He was at the scene of a accident a few years ago. Routine pictures. Didn't see anything when he was shooting the pictures, and then when he had them developed, he saw a lot of very interesting energy in the pictures. Usually, when a soul comes out of the body, it comes out completely in one. What do you want to call it? Mass of energy, I guess. But it can come out in streams of energy. Sometimes the soul is fragmented, and that's a whole nother area, but the soul can come out in streams of energy. And that's exactly what was going on in these pictures, is that the soul was coming out of this boy in streams of energy. The next picture was, again, just from a different angle where you can see the energy coming out of the boy. And you'll notice that when the energy turns red, what that means is that he's starting to get angry about the fact that he's dead. Okay? The next picture, the policeman doesn't even remember what he took in this picture. But the boy's, his soul was coming out. It was just taking over the pictures. And then in this last picture, which is just amazing, the soul is starting to come together to form his, what would appear as his body. This is what his face looks like, and you can tell that he's very angry that he's dead. There was another picture after this that I don't have, but you could actually see his shoulders and upper arms starting to form from the energy. Okay, and also in this picture, there is the soul of his dog that had died 1 year before this accident. And so his soul, his dog's soul, came to get him, to be with him, to probably go with him to the other side.
I'm wondering, is there a difference between psychic ability and intuition?
Yes, there is. And that's a very good question also, because a lot of people think that they're the same thing. But the way that you can tell is psychic abilities are up here. Our third eye is located right here in the forehead. That's where clairvoyance comes in. Whereas intuition is usually located right here in the solar plexus area of the body. And intuition has to do with an inner knowing, knowing.
Like I got a sixth sense about not going to or not driving today, or.
That's probably intuition.
Right?
Yep.
But then psychic ability would be?
Psychic ability is when you get maybe a vision of a car accident or a vision of your car breaking down.
But see, wouldn't those be the same?
Nope, because it's coming in as a picture, so that's clairvoyance. Whereas if you just say, maybe to your wife, you know, I just know I shouldn't drive today. That's intuition. It's a feeling in here.
You get a call from your sister who says, I had a dream that
that's
you shouldn't drive.
That's right.
I didn't drive for a week.
And I'm glad.
How do you know if you have a ghost?
Are the walls bleeding? Well, that is a good question.
Well, oh boy, we've run into so many different symptoms. Okay, help me. Banging on the walls.
Banging on walls. We've
Footsteps?
had footsteps. A weird feeling like there's somebody in the house. We've had people's hair being pulled, or lights
turning on and off.
Yeah, seeing
radio.
little dots. You know, like you're doing dishes, you see somebody at the corner of your eye, or just a sense that there's somebody else in the house.
You know, we get a lot of mail all the time from people who they have, you can't imagine the symptoms they have. I mean, there was one situation where the ghosts turned their waste paper baskets upside down. We've had clothes pulled out of closets, books knocked off of shelves, bad smells.
People smoking or perfume.
It's amazing how many people in the world, I was going to say the country, but in the world, have ghosts in their home. And so for anybody out there who does have a ghost story, or you think you have a ghost in your home, you can write to us here, and hopefully we can read your letter on the air and help you know how to get rid of your ghost. We want to thank you for coming to the show today. You had wonderful questions. You were a great audience.
And we have a few final thoughts in the kitchen. That was a great show. Thank you very much for joining us.
We hope today's show cleared up some of the myths or fears that you may have had yourself about psychics or psychic phenomena.
Yeah, and hopefully you felt like you spent the whole afternoon with two psychics in your kitchen.
Thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Do you believe in psychics and all that sort of jazz?
I do. Everything is connected.
There's so many people that claim that they can do it. Like, how do you know if they're true or not?
No.
Driving. You brought up driving.
No, don't worry about driving. You don't have to worry about driving. I wouldn't drive for a couple weeks, but it's okay.
So we turn the clock to 0, honey, ourselves.